Rocky 5.
Hello everybody, my name is Mr. Hat, and today we're going over the 1990 film Rocky 5. This movie takes place within the same year after Rocky 4, it continues right after it, and then Rocky is officially trying to retire, but then some other asshole's like, I want you to fight this guy because... And he says, nope. But then his protege comes in, this guy who wants to be trained by Rocky. Rocky becomes his manager, trains him, but then in the end has to fight him. So it's like student versus teacher. This is probably the most different so far. What I've seen so far. I've only seen 1 through 5 now, and Creed 2. I haven't seen Rocky Balboa or Creed 1. Those will be my next ones. But I went into this movie knowing that it sucked, because that's what I've heard from a few sources about this film, that it's the worst one, no doubt about it. You know, the other ones are all great or good, but this one's just trash. And going into this film with that expectation, I didn't hate it as much as I thought I was going to. But I saw what everyone was talking about. It is pretty bad. I think the biggest thing this movie suffers from is the dialogue, the script, the story, the direction. It's just weird. It's not Rocky-esque. It doesn't feel like a Rocky film. It feels like a father-son soap opera. Just all kinds of drama. This movie, right off the bat, the first 2 acts of this movie is lots of arguing, depression. It's just very, very sad. And the acting in this movie is noticeably different, like terrible. Like that's how terrible. It's like as soon as one line comes out of Sylvester Stallone's mouth, you're like, this doesn't feel right. I'm not sure if he was portraying the character this way because of the head trauma that his character is supposed to be suffering from, but he's like a completely different person in this movie. But the lines he delivers, he sounds more Sylvester Stallone-like in this movie. Like that weird accent of his. Like it's harder to understand him in this movie than any other of the previous films so far. I needed to turn subtitles on for this film to understand some of what he was saying. The marching band in this movie, just like in part 3, plays the theme song to Rocky. It's meta. I don't like it. The son in this film, who is supposed to be the same son in the second and third movie, in the third movie, in the third and fourth one, you know, same person, but actor-wise, completely different person and way older looking and way different looking. Okay, we had this kid in the fourth movie, between 8 to 10 years old, and this kid is supposed to be around that same age because it's the same fucking year, but yet he looks completely different because I think this person is played by Sylvester Stallone's son. I saw a credit in there from a guy named Sage Stallone. I didn't do any research, but this could be actually his son. Maybe it is. I'll do some research. This is the first Rocky movie with nudity in it, except it's Sylvester Stallone being naked, so if you want to see his ass, that's a positive for you, but it's not a positive for me. It's not even necessary. The son even leaves nude drawings in his bedroom. Like, his parents aren't going to find that shit. Just leaves naked women drawings in his bedroom. As soon as Rocky arrives home from Russia, immediately we got, you know, prop up this new guy, do the same thing that the other movies did. Just like, all right, let's just throw a new face in there. And this villain is not even the villain because we don't have any knowledge of this guy. He's like in the backseat the whole fucking movie. We don't know who he is, what's his motivation. And then by the end of the movie, you find out that that guy wasn't even tough shit at all. He was just a fucking nobody. Turns out the real villain is Tommy Gunn, and these 2 villains that we get in this movie are not noticeable, they're not memorable, they're very lame, alright? Paulie, once again, I don't like his character. Why is he even around? There's no reason for him to be around, because now in this movie, he provides, you know, the explanation for Rocky to potentially start fighting again by draining all his money out of his account when they went to Russia. He just like signed some paper and was like, alright, I give all the money to this accountant because I'm a fucking idiot. Yeah, that's all he's good for, Paulie. And where's Buttkiss? You know, the dog from the first 2 movies? Was he in the third or fourth one? Where's Buttkiss? This is the first Rocky movie of the 90s, so now it has that 90s feel to it, that nastiness. I don't like it. And it has a 90s rap soundtrack throughout most of the film. There's at least 3 different rap songs in this movie, and it doesn't feel Rocky. It doesn't fit the movie. It doesn't complement the scene. It doesn't get you energized. It's just like, why am I listening to this horrible shit? Mickey's gym is closed, and then Rocky basically opens it up again with whatever money he has left. I'm not sure how he could afford it. I thought he was like dirt poor. I guess he should have taken a paycheck for that Russia fight, but he didn't. But while he's at the gym, he has this flashback with Mickey, you know, in his head, and he's like acting it out. It's corny, but Mickey is like very he says things that are very uncharacteristic of him, and he's like giving like this very emotional speech saying I love you. He's like treating Rocky like he's his son. He's like, you give me reason to live. saying all this shit that I'm like, that doesn't sound like Mickey. Coincidentally, Duke or Buck, whatever the fuck his name is, that rhymes too. Buck, fuck, Duck, whatever the hell his name is, he just, the big fur coat guy in this movie, he just pops up in the middle of Philadelphia, finds Rocky walking down the street. Coincidence. Oh my gosh, that Mexican priest is back from the second movie. One of the corniest parts of that movie, besides the commercial, the caveman commercial, we got the Mexican priest coming back, and what I forgot to mention in my part 2 review, in this movie, we get the same situation where Rocky Balboa, I almost call him Rambo again, Rocky's having a conversation with this Mexican priest, and he's talking in Spanish, and Rocky's talking in English, but yet they both understand each other. After we already established that Rocky didn't even pass high school, he doesn't have a diploma, he barely made it into fucking high school at all. I think in the second one he said he didn't even get past 9th grade or something. Where did he learn Spanish? You know? Better question, if they both understand each other, why not just speak the same fucking language? One of you needs to pick one and stick with it. Alright? If you're having a conversation, both of you do Spanish or both of you do English. It's fucking weird. Why are we doing 2 different things at once? Having a bilingual conversation. It's stupid. There's a weird moment in this movie where Tommy Gunn, he's like driving his car away, and you got that weird situation where like the Rocky's on the side of the car, like trying to talk to him as he's driving away. And they do it for like 2 minutes straight. It's like, dude, just punch the gas and leave him behind. This is getting weird. Why? Just stop the car if you want to keep talking to him. Of course, Tommy Gunn doesn't thank Rocky when he wins his little belt, towards the end of this movie. He doesn't give him the thanks that he deserves. Wish I saw it coming a mile away. But I'm complaining about it because not only is it obvious, but it's so fucking just movie-like, it's like in real life you would give that guy thanks. I mean, he was your fucking idol growing up, you're just gonna not thank him? But yeah, the biggest problem in this movie is just the dialogue. The dialogue, Stallone's performance, the way he talks in this movie, his acting, like, very different. It feels very soap opera-like, and it just feels terrible. It's just like a father-son thing. But anyways, let's just go over the little things that I did like. I like that this movie picks up right after part 4. Again, continuity. I'm going to keep saying it. It's continuity, alright? So it takes place right after part 4. He's still in Russia. He's shaking, because Dolph Lundgren basically knocked his head off almost, and he's like, he has shaky hands, so he doesn't want to fight no more because he's worried for his health, but deep down inside he knows that he's just a fighter, he wants to keep fighting. I like that this movie has more homages to like the first film again, just little winks and nods. We got Rocky, he puts on that same outfit he wore in the first one, the fedora hat. We got the fish store, or the pet store that Adrian goes back to work at because they lost all their money due to that dipshit Paulie. Another positive, Paulie finally gets his clock clean. He gets his block knocked off in this movie by Tommy Gunn. Thank God. I just want to see somebody knock his head off just once, and I finally got it. We get a moment similar in the first movie where like Rocky was giving that random girl in the street like life lessons, and she was like, "Who are you to give me life lessons? Fuck off." We get a moment like that in this movie, except it's Stallone talking to his son. Just another wink and nod to the first movie. You got the steps again from the first 2 movies, going up the steps, except now he's going up the steps with his son. It's a very father-son-like movie. And I know I complained in the second movie, or the third movie review, I said that they didn't show the son enough, they didn't focus on him. In the fourth one, they actually had some moments with the son, and this one is just full-on father-son. We also get Apollo Creed's trunks in this movie, just another wink and nod. And I like that this movie tried to do something different, because, I'm 5 movies into this franchise within 24 hours. I've been marathoning this shit, so it was good to get something different, but it was too different and not good. Like, if the dialogue and script was better, this different thing would have probably been better. I like that National Lampoon's Christmas Story was on TV, one of my favorite Christmas movies, except this movie's supposed to take place in 1986, and that movie didn't come out until 1989, so what the hell's going on? I know this movie came out in 1990, but you don't put a film from 1989 in your 1990 film if your 1990 film is taking place in 1986. But anyways, yeah, this film does something different. Rocky's the manager now. He's managing this guy who ends up being his villain. I thought that was interesting. You train this guy, and you end up having to fight him. And I like that the third act brawl isn't just in the ring again. Again, this movie's being different. It's a street brawl. Bare knuckle fist. And then after he kicks Tommy Gunn's ass, we finally get to see that fur coat Duke guy get his block knocked off after he keeps saying, "I'll sue you, I'll sue you." And Stallone goes, "What are you going to sue me for? What? I've already lost everything." Poof! But anyways, honestly, the only thing saving this movie from being just complete waste of time was the fact that it did something different in the third act. It was different. I liked the whole street brawl thing. It was entertaining enough, but the first 2/3 of this movie, I didn't care for at all. The dialogue is almost unbearable. There's lots of just arguments. It feels soap opera-like. Some pacing issues and some just coincidences. But overall, just because of that third act alone, it's not wasted time to some people it will be, but I would say when it comes to Rocky 5 that you should just probably rent this at Redbox. Those are my thoughts on Rocky 5. Is this indeed the worst of the franchise? So far, it's definitely at the bottom of my list so far. I haven't seen the other two yet that I have left. So far, this is my least favorite. What's your least favorite? Or are you a defender of this movie? I haven't seen anybody defend it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed this review at all, you agree with me at all, you can hit this like button to show that you support it. And if you want to support my channel and be a subscriber, you can do so by clicking on my cartoon face in 5 seconds to see more. And until next time, I will see you this day.